And Namaskar. Last 2 months, for some reason, we could not study the Ramayana. Now, sometimes it happens, and this month we will study the Ramayana, the Great War, that we were all waiting for that. So, before that, let us chant some mantra, and afterwards, we will study the Ramayana. यन्माया वशवर्ती विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वात् अमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हे भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवशिव भाति भवाम्बोधेस्ति तीर्षवताम् बन्धोऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्याम् ईशं हरिम्. I salute the Supreme Lord Hari, known as Sri Rama, the cause transcending all relative causes, whose mysterious power controls all beings in the world, including Brahma, Devas, and Ashuras, whose substance gives reality to all things, as the rope does to the snake appearing on it, and feet alone before a spiritual aspirant as a boat for crossing the ocean of samsara. From this small mantra, we understand Sri Rama was Vishnu himself, Lord Vishnu himself. And the Lord who could control everything, how come that he is fighting a war to get back his wife from the abductors Ravana? This is the wonderful thing, the spiritual teaching that we should try to understand. Here, the Lord has appeared, the Supreme Being has appeared. We are not using the word taken birth. Apparently, he was born, but no, if you notice, his birth was completely in a different way. Those who have already read and also are with us hearing the Ramayana, they know that to get the children, Dasharatha, he organized a yajna, and from that yajna, as a blessings, he got 4 sons. So it is completely in an unnatural way, it's a divine way. They appeared. But for the ordinary people, they were born and they were growing up, they were children, they went to the school and to the Guru Griha, all these things as normal as any other human being. But at the same time, this Lord took the form of Sri Rama because that time there's a question, which is righteousness? The way that the Ravana or the Bali, they were behaving, they were also religious people. The Ravana practiced long meditation to get the blessings of the Lord Shiva and the gods. Obviously, they were also righteous people, but they used those power, the spiritual power and the blessings of the Lord for their selfish thing, selfish motive. And that is the reason they became Asura. Asura means those who live in darkness. They are ignorant. They believe that this body and this world and all these things are permanent, and from there they like to get the joy, the happiness. That is the wrong thing. You know, all the Hindus are now celebrating the forthcoming Durga Puja. Why? Because again, the Durga, And that was the manifestation of the power of the god, is the Durga. What she did, she punished an Ashura. The name Durga came. Let me tell you this story also in today's class, because that within 1 or 2 days there will be the Durga Puja in the next week itself. And this Durga, she got the name. She's the power of the combination of all gods and goddesses. Now, one Ashura was there whose name was Durgama. And this Durgama, he captured the whole the land where the gods they used to rule. And then one thing he did, he stopped giving any education to anyone. The education was banned. So they told that he stole the Veda. Here, the way, in the language that has been used, that sometimes we get confused in the modern time. The stole the Veda means maybe like when we read, we feel that there was a book, the Veda, and this gentleman came, this Ashura came, and he took those books. No, not that. He stopped education in the society. Education is the power. Education gives us the power to solve all our problems. Swami Vivekananda said, education is the panacea of all evils. That is the medicine, that is the solution, the proper education. But this Ashura, he knew if there is no education, then the people will become very weak. Physically they will be strong, but intellectually they will be weak, and you can control them in whatever way you like. So obviously that was there, and slowly the Brahmanas and the Rishis, they started losing their power in a very beautiful way, that the description, but actually if you don't have the education, then what will happen? So you are not making any progress. For the human being, education is the power. Now that power was not there, so what they will do, they became very weak, and ultimately they went to the Lord Shiva, and then the Lord Shiva said, okay, now let us send the power. The power of the god took the form of a lady, a mother, a goddess, and she went, and first she did, she fed all the gods and goddesses to Shakambari. To Shaka means food. So that was given to the people. The people need two type of thing. One, that is for the physical, for the restraining the physical thing, physical bodies, they need food. So the first thing she gave the food so that they get the strength. And when the body is strong and you can think properly, so she gave, she gave the food to all the gods and goddesses, and as if she gave 14 different items to that is called Shakambari. Even as a tradition, the people, they will be cooking their varieties of food, particularly spinaches. The Shaka means spinach. So not actually all the, I think, it's not only that varieties of spinaches, it was the food for the nourishment of the body. When you are physically strong, you can think also properly. So that she first did, then she went, defeated that Durgama, and once again gave the whole society, got back the education. Education is power. So as because she defeated the Durgama, her name became Durga. And where is the power? Is in the education. And what is the final education? Vedanta. That's the last education. Veda means knowledge. Anta is the end. The final education is Vedanta. What Vedanta teaches? You are divine. You are that for whom you are constantly searching. And that is called Ananda. We search all through our life. Our goal is to become a doctor, an engineer, an officer, to earn money, to become rich. But in fact, we are searching happiness. And that is the reason, not understanding where the happiness, we go on searching in this world. We think that if we are becoming rich, we'll be happy. But after becoming rich, we understand, no, we are not happy. So we are just a little bit of the comfort is there, but in reality, mentally, we are not happy. So where is the happiness? Then comes the spiritual knowledge, and we come to understand we are the source of happiness. How? Because the happiness, the Ananda, there is in the Sanskrit they say Ananda. This Ananda is the source of happiness that we are. From there we have born. We have been created out of Ananda. So that is the whole of Vedanta. And when we understand that, the moment you understand that, immediately this whole world and with all its attractions, it becomes completely nothing for that particular person. When people, they forget this, they take this world seriously, and when they forget the God, the spirituality, the ultimate goal of their life, and they all try to pursue these worldly comforts, they become like the animals, very selfish. And they are known as the Ashuras. A means negative, Sura is the knowledge, is the light. So they became dark. So Asuras. So these Asuras, they always go for their physical enjoyment. But sometimes we find that even among them, there are people, they were enlightened people like Vibhishana. See, there's Ravana's brother. So this person understood that Ravana is not doing the right thing. First, he has abducted a married lady. It is not the norms. One should not do that. If a king is doing in this way, then obviously in the society the message will go, this is possible. You are allowed to do. Then where will be the norms, the rules, the life? It will become just animals, the kingdom. So obviously you have to control your emotion, you have to control your mind. So this Ravana, he was breaking that particular norm, and that is why the Supreme Being, he took the form, a part of it, he came as Sri Rama. And then he distributed the other parts, and that in other three brothers. The four of them, they appeared and they did their, in a different way, re-establishing the Dharma. So ultimately, Sri Ramachandra is the Parabrahma. The Parabrahma is Sri Rama. And this Sri Rama, Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram. That's why when they worship the Rama, Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram. That we were chanting this mantra, and that is the Rama. He is the cause of everything. But this moment, he is behaving like any other ordinary person, and he is in anxiety because his wife has been abducted, and he went to get the support from other people, and he got a very good friend, that is the Sugriva. And Sugriva, he wanted his friendship, and because he was in the exile to save his own life, and his enemy was his elder brother, the Bali. So obviously the Rama and Sugriva shook hands, they became friends, they supported each other. Rama told, I will kill the Sugriva, the Bali, and in exchange, you have to support me to find out where the Sita is, and support me with your the army to go and fight with the person who has abducted the Sita. So that was then. Then we know that the story. Then ultimately they have come, they have crossed the huge ocean. Then they were on the place where the Sita was staying. In the meantime, Hanumana came and Hanumana showed his might, and he has gone back. And Sugriva, Jambuvana, Bibhishana, Hanumana, they all took different position for the final attack. Then the Nila, the Vibhishana, he collected all the information about the war strategy. And this Nila, to break the eastern door, Hanumana, the western door, Anga, the southern door, and I myself, that means Sri Rama, the northern door. Sugriva, Jambuvana, Vibhishana in the central place, because the secret code should be Rama, Lakshmana, Vibhishana. Why? Because it's almost the same looking people, and the most of the Rakshasas, they were having some miraculous power, mystical power. They could change their form. Now, they seeing the Hanumanas, they will take the Hanumana form. It will be difficult to identify. When they go for the war, every country, their soldiers, they are wearing a particular the dress, almost the same type of, but they will have the badges, they will have the code language, code words. So when they are arrested or when they are facing each other, they don't know. Thousands of soldiers are fighting. So how we will identify? Some of the codes will be used. They did that at the time of Sri Rama. So Rama gave the code, that these are the codes that you should, and the language that you are speaking should be these. These are the names you should use to identify that we are friends and not enemies. Because the Ravana was going on sending his people to enter into their camp to find out how much strength they are having, the weapons, the food supply, and who are the people posted in which place. All this information, naturally, in the war, that is the essential thing. Rama was also sending his people to collect the information. So this was going on, and the Rama and his army was all ready to attack the Ravana city. Now they have come over there. They were ready to attack the city. And before that, we know Rama, he worshipped goddess Durga. That is very interesting. Rama also worshipped the Durga. No, Rama worshipped the Durga. That is natural. But Ravana also worshipped Durga. So that is very interesting. So both of them, they were worshipping goddess Durga for her blessings. Why? To win the war, it is necessary the strength, the power of the divine. The Durga, she is that we are giving the name Durga, and there is a form is there, but in fact, that is the power of God. It is not the God himself. God is the Chaitanya. Your God is the consciousness. But God's that consciousness, that knowledge, when active, that is called God's power, that is the supreme power. So both of them, they knew it. Then both of them, they sat to worship the goddess Durga before starting the war. The Rama did it in a perfect way. But the Ravana made a mistake. And that is why the blessings of the Durga, the goddess, the power of God went to Sri Rama. The Rama was advised to do it by the gods, by the Narada also. And Ravana knew it. Ravana was a great scholar. And he had the intellect like the 10 people together. So that is why when Swami Vivekananda came to America, he first met a professor of the Harvard University and John Wright. And the John Wright wrote a letter addressing the President of the Parliament of Religion in 1893. And there he wrote this, the beautiful statement, here is a man, indicating Swami Vivekananda, whose knowledge is so vast, we will be nowhere if all the professors' knowledge putting together. So if we now suppose after 1,000 years, if the people draw a picture of Swami Vivekananda with thousands of heads, how it will look? It's just like that. So when we are drawing the picture, we are giving the Ravana 10 heads. It is not 10 heads. He was as intelligent as 10 people. So this thing that if we can truly understand, then particularly Westerners, those who are not Indians, they cannot understand, oh, this is all mythology. How can a man have 10 heads? And we go on thinking Ravana is having the 10 heads and Ravana is fighting like this. In our movies also the 10 heads. No, we have to understand the truth. The intellect of 10 people together, that means he was really, really intelligent, really powerful, because he got the blessings from the Lord Shiva. All this was there. At the same time, though he was having this, at the same time he was very egoistic and he was selfish. He was ready to sacrifice each and everything because this Sita, he told that I must marry her, but without the permission I cannot. So somehow I have to pursue. Now because of that only Rama came along with his friend Sugriva and thousands of very powerful soldiers, the Banara and all. Hanumana was one of them. So when they came, why all this? Because of his ego. He was not ready to listen to anyone. Vibhishana, his brother, he told, why you are putting all people just because you have done a mistake? This is not a war that they should fight. It is your thing, your problem. You go and face. If you are truly courageous person, then you go and face Rama all alone. Kill Rama and then get his wife. If you are really like that hero, why you are putting the whole country before Rama and putting the whole country into war? That is the real thing. Some of our leaders, just because of their own, the pride and ego, but he is not going to the war. He is forcing others to go to war for him because of his ego. And thousands are dying because of that. So Vibhishana, a righteous man, he was always on the righteous path. He told, I love you as because you are my brother, elder brother. But I cannot be with you because you are not with Dharma. You are not in the righteous path. I should leave. So that is, a righteous man will never ever, whatever may be the relation, whatever may be the connection, now he will never ever support irreligious thing. Even the father is doing something irreligious, I am not with the father. If my brother is doing, I am not with my brother. Whoever he may be. A righteous man is always a righteous person and he will always go for the righteousness. He will never ever support which is irreligious or not righteous. So he was very popular, Vibhishana. He has left. And now Hanumana came. He showed his might. That impression, that was fresh. And Hanumana came all alone. He showed his power. all the Rakshasas' moral broke down. It was on a very low condition. They were thinking, oh my God, only one Hanumana came and we couldn't control him. He was so powerful. Now thousands of that Hanumanas have come. We are going to die. The fear that they became really very weak. And at the same time, Vibhishana lived, and they also understood, they knew that as the king is giving the order, we have no other way but to go and die in the warfield, but not for a good cause. If someone is coming to fight for our country and I am going to protect my country, that is a good thing. But someone has abducted the other's wife. That is a heinous work that he has done. And I am going to die for that. So that way, when they were thinking, they became morally very weak. So almost 50% was won. But still the Ravana going on, sending one after another. And they sent that the war began, and both the sides, they were ready, and Agni Ketu, Rashmi Ketu, Shuptakshnu, Yajnakopa, they all came to attack Sri Rama. They were very powerful people, and with having the thousands of the Rakshasa soldiers, they all came to attack the Rama. But at ease, Rama killed these people. When their leaders were slain, so naturally they all ran back, and the Rama, without much effort, killed this. In the meantime, Nila, he killed another Rakshasa warrior called Nikumba. Shushen killed Vidyut Mali. Rakshasas were bewildered. And they were not knowing what to do. All the great leaders, whoever is coming, they are being killed. Then what? Of course, the ordinary soldiers, they were also slain. Because the Banara soldiers, they jumped upon them and then they were killing them. In those days, it was mostly they used to fight with the stone or the stick, and they will be throwing the stone to each other, or sometimes they will the wrestling, and by that way killing them. So obviously that was going on, not like nowadays, the one tiny little man sitting somewhere in the corner and going on shooting and killing 100 people. No, that was not there. And they were not having the bow and arrow even. Only the kings like the Ravana and the Rama, they were having the bows and arrows. You know, friends, that we have already discussed it. When the Rama and Lakshmana, they were coming with the bows and arrows, then the Sugriva, who was watching from the and secretly, and he was very much afraid. He never saw that type of weapon. So what will happen? What they are carrying? And the arrows, they were glittering. So when that was the sunlight that was reflecting on the arrows, and he was very much afraid. So Hanumana told, let me go and talk to them. And Hanumana changed his form, and as a Brahmana he came. And it was the norm right from the beginning of the civilization, the one should not do any harm to a Brahmana. Why? The Brahmana are the teachers. They are the researchers. They don't do any harm to anyone. Rather, they constantly research and give all the research product to the society for the benefit of the society. So Brahmana Abadhya, that was the norm. And then afterwards added Go Brahmana. Why the Go? Go means the cow, because the cow was also very helpful for the society. In those days, it was the cow. You can eat the milk, and there are many other ways they are helping, particularly the cultivation. And obviously, so it was in the society. It is not a law, but everyone followed Go Brahmana Hatya Nishidya. Then no one should harm this to neither this cow nor the Brahmana. So Hanumana took the Brahmana form, came and met. Hanumana knew Sanskrit language. That was the language that the cultured people used to use. So Hanumana could converse with them, and when returned back, he took them both and introduced with his king, and they became friends. Ravana, whom sometimes the Western scholars say this is the backward type of people, not at all. Ravana knew Sanskrit. Ravana also knew the use of the bow and arrow. The Ravana killed many of the Vanaras, Hanumanas, with the arrow. So Rama was also doing the same thing. How it was possible? So they were also cultured people. The Rakshasa clans, they were very advanced. Just the Manava, then Rakshasa, the Banara, these different type of clans were there. The Manava clan, of course, they were very advanced, but the Rakshasas were also. Their dresses, their language, all everything. Only thing, they were very much addicted to the physical comfort. That their behavior was not good, but rather they were having, almost all of them, the supernatural power to change themselves. No, I should not say all of them, but many of them. Like the Ravana's son, Indrajit, he used to, just using some of the mantras, some of the techniques, he used to be there, but people won't be able to see him. Then naturally, it was a great help for the Indrajit to fight. You cannot see where he is. Even he is completely not there as if, but he is very much there. How he used to do it? Like sometimes, there's a great magician, P.C. Sharkar. I have not seen though, but that was a great discussion when we were young. The P.C. Sharkar vanished a whole train before thousands of people. It was possible. How he did, we do not know. But it is not a mantra shakti, but is the magical power. They knew the technique. And by that technique, the P.C. Sharkar, the senior, they're all P.C. Sharkar. His sons are also P.C. But the first P.C. Sharkar, he was a very famous magician. Even today, all the Indians, they know him. So this P.C. Sharkar vanished the whole train before thousands of people. So that is the technique. Indrajit was also having that technique. So he vanished himself, though he was very much present over there. So, and that way he was fighting. Now what happened? The Ravana's son Indrajit, when this was happening, one after another, the Rama was killing all these, their officers were dying. Then they retreated and waited for the darkness to appear. In that war, that time, it was not the norms to fight in the darkness. Whenever there will be, the sun will set, immediately the war should be stopped. In the Mahabharata time also we have seen, they followed that. Why? Because you are going and you are fighting face to face. If you can't see each other, how can you fight? And that is not normal, that is not actual thing. That was the Indians, particularly Dharma. It was everywhere. Afterwards, when the Europeans, they invaded India, captured India, and we came to know, and most of our people also say, that everything is just in war and love. No. In Indians, everything, all the time, that it is just. You have to follow the Dharma. In the war, you should not deceive people. But Ravana didn't follow that. He broke it. And Rakshasas, they took that opportunity to fight in the darkness. And in the darkness, it was very easy for them because they practiced in that way. They grew up in that way. So they could see, they could understand The darkness was a the good time for them so that they can go and kill, but the others won't be able to identify them. Because of their color, because of their dress, it was very difficult to identify them. And this happened. Using the darkness, they were going on, they hitting these banners. And how the Banara will know who is in front of him? Because you know that the man-to-man, one-to-one war, they were confused. So they adopted immediately a technique. Of course, they were all tired after the fighting the whole day. At the evening time, the night time, it was the rest time. But these Rakshasas, they were trying to utilize that weakness and they attacked in the night itself. Hanumanas and all these Banara soldiers, they were also retaliating and they were fighting back, and they adopted a new technique. They were speaking in their own language. And if the opposition is not giving the answer or giving the answer in the wrong language, he knew that this is my enemy and he was killing them. So by that way also the Rakshasas could not do much benefit. When some of them, they approached the Rama, if you can kill the leader, Rama was the leader, Lakshmana was the leader, they knew it. The whole Banara soldiers, they came only for Rama and then Lakshmana. So their attack was always pinpointed on the Rama and Lakshmana. So all the great officers and the soldiers, they were trying to do harm to Rama. But Rama, with his arrow, he killed 6 of them. Actually, he could not kill. His arrow was shot and they were injured. So obviously they had to retreat, they had to go back. 6 of them. They understood, no, it is not possible to capture Rama even in the dark. And the Banara soldiers, they were talking to each other, they were in their own language, which was unknown to the Rakshasas, and Rakshasas could not speak in their language. So they knew, oh, this person just in front of me is not a Banara because he doesn't know my language. So they started killing. So this is the way it goes, and that was also they could not do anything good. Then came this Indrajit. The Indrajit, he understood that we won't be able to fight with Rama in this way. So he utilized that magical power and became completely oblivion. And then people could not identify where he is. And from there, he was going on shooting the arrows. He had another capacity. He had a mantra power, a type of the arrows that will go on bind the person. It will pierce the body, it won't. But it will go and it will round. I have seen some of the places, some of the movies, where I saw that these movies, they were throwing the 2 balls, 2 stones, and a rope. And they were throwing in such a way from the top of the stick. It was going on, moving, and suddenly they are throwing it. It is going and capturing that person. Mostly in the villages, the hunters, they use it to tie the legs of the deers or other animals. They will throw in such a way, it will go and go round in that way. Even I have read long back in Bengal, there were some of the wayside, the dacoits, they used to use this technique. From the distance, they used to throw that rope, and the 2 stones or heavy things were tied in both sides, and it will go in such a way that will go and just go on the binding the person, he cannot move, so they can come, they can rob, and they did not to kill him that way. Indrajit, he applied that, and he applied in such a way that right from the top to the toe, whole body of the Rama and Lakshmana and that was bound, and no one knew how to be opened from that. And he had the power, the mantra Shakti. Rama and Lakshmana fainted, and people started thinking that they have died. So obviously they was very much afraid. And that time Vibhishana came for help. Vibhishana came and told the leaders of the Banara soldiers, you need not to be afraid. This is going to open afterwards in the morning. In the night time it is active, but right when the light of the sunlight will come, it won't work. That means you can see how they have tied, so you can open it. This is my explanation. I can imagine, by that way I'm telling. So why? Because this is the snake that is binding, as because the snakes sometimes they will go and curl, and then afterwards they pressure their prey in such a way that they can break the bones and they can eat it. That is the way the snakes they eat, many of the snakes. But here he has bound on the rope and the snake way, and they are bound in such a way it is difficult to open unless you can see it. And there was no light. Rama and Lakshmana was falling on the ground. So that was the condition, and they were there. The Indrajit saw that they have fallen, and he thought that they are killed, both of them. The two heroes, they are falling over there without the movement. But Rama and Lakshmana both, they lost their consciousness, they were fainted. So it looked like they're dead. Indrajit was very happy, but she had no courage to go close, near, to touch them, to see them, because the Hanumanas, they were there. So Indrajit went back and reported to his father, who was very much worried, and of course he boasted before others, see, I have solved the whole problem of my father. Now the father can go and sleep. And in the first day war, I have killed these two, Rama and Lakshmana. He went and entered into the chamber of the Ravana, the king, and said, I have killed both of them. And Ravana was very, very happy. And he asked one of his the follower, go and show the head of Rama to Sita. But he asked to make a head look like Rama. Why? Ravana also knew that they are not dead. Ravana could say, hey, why? You could cut the heads and bring it. Because in those days, that was the way they used to, that was the proof that you have killed your enemy. So they used to carry the heads. But why you have not brought those? He didn't ask his son. He understood that he could not kill them, but anyway, he got the success and he is happy to encourage him. We don't find that Ravana is criticizing him. He said, this very good work that you have done, go and take rest. He called one of his accomplices and asked, make a head like Rama and take it to the Sita and show her that Rama is dead. If the Rama is dead, what the Sita will do? She will naturally give up all her defense. That was the idea. They took that and then showed it, and Sita lamented. There's a big chapter in the Ramayana, how Sita lamented. She was thinking the last hope, it has also gone. And that is okay for her. She will be committing suicide and all that is okay. But for her, both the Rama and Lakshmana is dead. And she was blaming herself. Oh, just because of this body of mine, the Ravana got attracted, and because of me, the Rama and Lakshmana both came over here, and they are now killed. So she was naturally blaming herself for the death of Rama and Lakshmana, and was lamenting. And when she was doing that, Sharoma, another lady, was there. She was very good. I think she was the wife of Vibhishana. She was looking after the Sita. Ravana believed her, though the brother left him, but the Ravana believed his wife and asked her to take care of the Sita. She was an educated lady, a righteous lady, and very, very intelligent. She was the great help for the mother Sita in those days. The Sharma whispered, "Oh no, don't worry. It is not the right, the head. So this is all Ravana's miraculous power. So don't worry. It will be, everything will be all right." Then Sita believed her, and slowly, slowly, Sita decided, no, I should not commit suicide right this moment. Let me see what is truth. In the meantime, the Ravana, he, to prove that the Rama and Lakshmana is dead, sent her the one craft was there that could fly. So the Pushpaka Ratha, that was the only one that I think the helicopter type of thing was there, which was actually the property of the Kubera, the richest person among the gods, and he was in somehow related to Ravana. When Ravana became strong and he snatched it from the Kubera, and not that he purchased or anything, he actually threatened the Kubera, either you give that or I'm going to fight with you. The Kubera knew that you cannot fight back, so he gave that. So as usual, all the bullies, all the strong people, they do in that society also, it was there. But the very unique thing is, if that was not there, sometimes I think in this way, if it is an imagination, the writer, he could write that there are many like that. Why only one? If it was the imagination of the writer, he could make that Rama was also having, Lakshmana was also having one. So what is there? No, only one in the whole that creation at that time was that. So we can think that it was a very costly helicopter type of thing. So Pushpaka Ratha that he mentioned, though when we imagine, no one has seen that, and unfortunately he has not given any description of it. It is not the horses that, but we draw that the horses are flying, that naturally for everyone, including our children also, they won't accept it as truth. But I think there was something that could really fly, and that was the Pushpaka Ratha. Ravana arranged that Sita and Sarama should go, and from the above, from the Pushpaka Ratha, they should see that Rama and Lakshmana are dead. In the morning, so it was dawn, the light was there, and this Ravana arranged that the Sharama and Sita, they came on the above and they saw truly Rama and Lakshmana, they are lying on the bare ground just like dead. So obviously the Sita broke down, but the Sarama told, look at it fast. Yesterday he showed the head, but now when you look at, the head is still there. That means Rama is not dead. The Sharma is very intelligent. She immediately argued and then convinced. Sita was emotional, and then physically she became so weak. For such a long period of time she was there in the prison. No food, no good shelter, and not proper sleep. Naturally a human being, she became weak. So she forgot to judge in that way. Now God has sent the Sharma to support her mind, to support her. And Sharma told, last night you saw the head of the Rama, but now you see, the Rama is perfect. That means he is not dead, first. Second, if they were dead, look at the all the Banara soldiers, they are not at all afraid. If Rama and Lakshmana were truly dead, they would have left this place, carried their body. But no, they are waiting for something. That means they are not dead, and maybe they are just at this moment they're taking rest, or something has happened, and they are not conscious. That we can understand, but they are not dead. Looking at all the thing, Sharma told the Sita they are not dead. And all these leaders, they were sitting in different small groups, and they are discussing among themselves. From above they could see that. So it is very clear they are waiting for something. And maybe the sunlight, it is all. And these people have this type of power. In the night they can apply in this thing, and in the daytime it will all, that power will go away. So don't worry. Sita got back this confidence. They went back. And after that, suddenly they found that something is happening. The Garuda, the carrier of the Lord Vishnu, he came down. When he came down, then immediately the mantras, the mystical power that was binding Rama and Lakshmana, that went out. Garuda was the great power. So he came down and he saw the Rama and Lakshmana, and then told them, don't worry, everything will be all right for you, and these will do no harm to you. Rama got back his consciousness, and then he looked, and by the side of him was Lakshmana. Then obviously, when he saw that Lakshmana is dead, he thought the Lakshmana is dead, then he said that, Kim nume sitaya karjam lankaya jivitena ba shayanam yaddo pashyami bhrataram yudi nirjitam. That is, it says that if the brother, that's so much love for the brother. So that's why when the two brothers, they love each other, always in Indian society they say Rama Lakshmana. So Lakshmana had great respect for the Rama and the senior brother, and the Rama, the senior brother, had great love, affection for the junior brother Lakshmana. So when both the brothers are supporting each other, behaving very friendly way, in Indian society they are like Rama and Lakshmana. And here we find the Rama, he is truly mentioning, he is lamenting by saying, oh, what I have done. I brought my younger brother here, and because of me he is dead. And what I am going to do after capturing and destroying the Ravana and getting back the Sita, if Lakshmana is not there with me? So the comparing, in the Sita, my brother is more close to me. So that's why he said, Kim nume Sitaya karjam. What I am going to do with this after winning the war and getting back the Sita, if labdaya jivitena ba shayanam yadyapashyami bhrataram yudi nirjitam, when my brother is lying over dead, as dead. And the second he said, Shakya sitasamo nari marta loke vichintata na lakshmana samo vrata sachiva samparayikaha. I may get the wife like Sita, but I will never get the brother like Lakshmana. There's so much of love. It is, we should not compare, oh, he was not liking Sita, not like that. Rama loved Sita so intently because Sita was his power. So that is different. Many people, they misunderstand that Rama was not liking the Sita and he was torturing her, and not like that. And the society and all that. There's nothing like that. But naturally he was comparing, my dearest is Sita, But when comparing with my brother, I think I can get another wife, another lady like Sita, but I will never ever get a brother like Lakshmana. So these two brothers, they were so close to each other. Now, this when the Rama and Lakshmana they got up, and he was Garuda, the carrier of the Lord Vishnu, the huge bird, as they say. Actually, he was a great the yogi. So he came and told them, see, you are always following the path of truth and simplicity. But when you are fighting against the Rakshasas, you have to think in their own way. They never follow these. So you have to be very careful to when you are fighting with the Rakshasas. They are Kuta Yadya. The Kuta Yadya means they don't follow the norms of the war. Somehow they will kill. But because they don't have any dharma, righteousness, they don't bother about the karma phala, the result of the bad actions or good actions. So obviously, you have to be careful when you're fighting with them. So he gave that advice to Rama and Lakshmana and told, I have to go back. I have some commitments. So I am going back. When all the devas, they saw that you have fainted and they were lamenting, and I knew that nothing has happened to you. You need only little encouragement and everything will be all right. So I have come. Don't worry. When the Sita was traveling on that and looking at the warfield, saw her husband, the Sri Rama, dead, she was thinking, how come? Because the rishis, they told, you will have children from the Rama and you'll be a great mother. The people will remember you and because of your children also. Not only because of the husband, but also because of your children. Rishis told untruth? How that can be? So she was also arguing in her mind and she went back, and the Sarama also gave the right idea, but they are not dead because that body language of the other soldiers, officers, Angada was there, Neela was there. So they were there waiting. So don't worry. Then ultimately Rama and Lakshmana, both they got up. Now friends, we have to continue this war and some of the other incidents that happened. We will go through that maybe in the next month if everything goes well and if you are studying this. Then we will conclude the war and enter into the end part of the Ramayana. So next month will be the November, and I think by December we'll try to complete the Ramayana. Gist of the Ramayana is a huge book, so we will just conclude the philosophy of the Ramayana. And if we continue in the next year 2025, then some of the characters of the Ramayana we will discuss, and or some other subjects maybe. So let us conclude by saying Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Thank you, Sarda.